Many of the things that I teach, sometimes you may not even know why I teach them. But this is what drives me. This is what motivates me. This is the 5 questions that make me wake up in the morning and talk to you and pray for you and teach and write books and sing and write songs, and why I have conferences, and what I'm after is these 5 questions. And according to Jesus in Luke chapter 4, the anointing of God was upon him to set the captives free and to set the oppressed free. It's possible for you to be delivered and still oppressed. What are the 5 questions? Number 1, who am I? Most people haven't answered that question yet, and that's why they're still dressing like other people and acting like other people and fixing their hair like other people and following styles and following moods and following fashions and following what's in and going with what's hip. And why? They don't know who they are. They're trying to find themselves. And nothing is more detrimental than trying to be somebody you're not. And saints in the church still don't know who they are. They know where they're going. They go into heaven, but they don't know who they are. The second question we must answer is, where am I from? Where am I from? If you don't know where you came from, you're going to be in bondage. Now, a lot of folks think that they came from Africa, or they came from England, or they came from Poland, or they came from China, or they came from this, and they keep going back to our physical heritage, so to speak. Look in this room. You guys are so mixed up, you don't know where to go. Some of you got white and black and Indian all mixed up. Where you going to go if you try to go back to find yourself? You don't know where to go. So we got to deal with something more important than just ethnic heritage. If you don't know where you came from and you only use your ethnicity, is that it? If you just use that to try and find your heritage, then you are going to be in trouble, because you're going to find out that you're going to be split about 5 or 6 different ways. Third question you must answer is, why am I here? And an oppressed person lack a sense of purpose. They don't know why they exist. The third question, why am I here? And the fourth question is, what can I do? We must answer that question to live effectively. That means, what is my ability? What is my true potential? What am I really capable of doing? And if you are not able to answer the question of your ability and your potential, then people will dominate your powers. They will overrun and overrule and literally tell you what you cannot do. And the fourth question is, where am I going? Some people have no future. They have no direction. They have no sense of destiny. You've got to know where you're going. When you're oppressed, these 5 questions are stripped from you. When you're oppressed, your oppressor gives the answer to these 5 questions. When you are oppressed, the oppressor determines who you are, where you came from, what you can do, why you're here, and where you're going. The oppressor dictates to you who you are. Someone said to me in South Africa that they read that people of color were born just to carry water and cut wood. So that's what they taught the people in their church. In the church. Now, you've been taught that for 300 years. It's going to be difficult for you to change your attitude toward me. So when I come into the room, even though I got on a suit, you say, there's a well-dressed woodcutter. See, your mind hasn't changed. You say, well, there's a dignified water carrier. Why? Because mentally, your mind hasn't changed. And there are people in our own country who are still under the oppression of the colonial mentality, and there are people here who are still oppressors. And even though they may promote you, they don't accept you. And even though they may let you wear a tie and be a supervisor, you are a water-carrying supervisor to them. You're still a woodcutter. Because the mentality needs to be renewed. God will bring transformation when you change. Now, the trouble is this. If the oppressed is set free, then the oppressor loses his power over them. I'm going to say this again. If the oppressed is set free, then the oppressor loses his power over them. It's difficult for you to tell me something or to do something when I know that that's not for me to do. We need, therefore, to understand that freedom is the key to living effectively, not deliverance.